Yeah, of course, Black Lives Matter, and we need to acknowledge the racial disparities that exist in this country. I mean, take a look at this pandemic right now. While African Americans make up a quarter of our state's population, they account for almost half of the deaths in our state. It's communities of color who are deprived of access to rural broadband, who don't have proper access to health care. There are some serious racial disparities that go beyond law enforcement and into health care, into education. But let's make no mistake about it. And when acknowledging these racial disparities, there's no room for violence, none at all. And we have to look back at history and look at how social change has been made. I've had the great honor of serving alongside a legend, Congressman John Lewis. And it was an honor to march across Edmund Pettus Bridge with him just months ago. But it's people like him who advance social and racial change through nonviolent protests. That's the way forward. And yes, we can do that simultaneously while supporting our law enforcement. But let's talk about supporting law enforcement, supporting first responders. And if my opponent really supported first responders, she probably would have been there to vote on a bill last week that would have helped them. But she missed 55 votes just last week. If she can't show up and do her job here in Columbia, she's not going to be able to show up and do her job in D.C.
If you want to rebut that, I'll give you one moment. But I want you to clarify some things, Mr. Cunningham, just to clarify, because I asked Ms. Mace some clarification questions. Mm-hmm. Have you gone to any rallies? Have you spoken with any leaders? Have you held any roundtables on these issues recently that you can point to?
Well, I speak to leaders every single day. As far as rallies, we've been very selective as to the group meetings we attend. I know my opponent has attacked me for not having in-person events during a pandemic, which I find a bit bizarre, but we've been limiting those significantly, though.
Do you want to rebut, Ms. Mace?
Of course I do. Thank you. I've been a state lawmaker for 3 years, and I'm proud of my record of accomplishments during that time. What Democrat Joe Cunningham will not tell you is that his record of attendance is very similar to mine since he's been in office. And you should be ashamed of yourself for this attack. I want every working mother and working father, working family in this district that's facing an unprecedented time right now, trying to make decisions for their family. I missed a few votes last week because I'm a single working mom homeschooling her children. You have no idea what a working family, you don't have any idea what kind of problems or challenges we are facing today. You should be ashamed of yourself and disqualified based on this personal attack. I have 15 seconds left and I don't want to be interrupted. Working families are making tough choices this year, and I'm not going to apologize for being there for my kids when they needed me.